to pick for this entire day to watch, and these are the three that would probably come up. This is a Super Bowl heat.
And not only is this a great heat on paper, but the conditions are firing, and it's really going to favour these three expert rail surfers.
You know, kind of sneaky decisions that Bells throws at you, but Connor Coffin is so exciting. As a rookie, he's one of those guys that has been kind of getting all the attention. And then here's the big dog, Ronnie, as we like to call him, Jordy Smith, who's just trying to find that mojo this year. He came off an injury last year, and we know what he's capable of. A couple of smooth carves for Jordy to start with. You know, it's easy to get really excited because the waves are pumping. We got three heavy-footed regular footers out here. They're going to potentially get a couple of 10s.
Is Mick Fanning in the red jersey, Jordy Smith in the blue on the inside. Having a look at this one. A medium-sized wall. Let's see what he can do with it. Driving into this first section. Beautiful carve to get started. Gets up on top of the lip for a moment. But he pulls through the back there, the 28-year-old. Wiggly Dantas on fire in that last heat. He's progressed directly through to the quarterfinals. The pocket, and as a result, he also gets those big fans of spray. And he let go of a couple of bomb turns in that last heat. But here we go, Jordy. Keep him busy now, trying to replace a 4.23 with this ride. A smaller wave, but he's working it over. Meanwhile, out the back, there could be some action as well as Jordy's milking this one through to the inside. And here goes Connor Coffin. Strong first turn from the 22-year-old. Again goes to the rail. Holds that line. Gets a bit of release in the tail. Not a bad start for this TT rookie. Pacing himself through to the inside now. And he just gets a nice clean hit on the closeout. A couple of round 5 heats established already. Nat Young up against Mason Ho. Wilco up against Julian Wilson. Here's the replay of that last exchange.
Wow, cool carve there from Jordy. And he had to be really agile because that wave was kind of bending out to sea. It wasn't user-friendly. So he had to kind of choose his carves and his turns wisely. Didn't have that nice feedback that you want to get from a wave. So I think he'll get rid of that 4.23. But for Jordy now, he might be looking to be more patient and go out there and get himself a set wave. Because these scores can only go so high. Because what's available out there, Ronnie? There's big set waves where, you know, the judges don't want to throw too big of a scores on a medium-sized wave. But watch this choice of turns as he puts it under the lip. Very smart. You can see that lip was not really there to hit off of, so he just hacks the lid off. Amazing technique there from Jordy, and he's pushing hard. That's what's cool. You know, he's not just kind of placing his rail in the water. He is really grunting through that carve. And that's the agility I was talking about, for him to kind of climb that lip that quick and that light-footed. That's hard to do at Bells.
Looks so impressive in slow-mo. Just that technique, flawless. And here's Connor Coffin on his first ride.
Okay. Nice layback jam, but this is the carve I really wanted to see. Watch the extension. That was beautiful. Had those arms kind of spread out wide. So again, he got some length and a little more time. A couple more seconds on the clock with that carve. Just made it look slightly different. So 2 major moves on the outside for Connor. He might get the best of this exchange. And then just kind of finishes this wave off. So again, this is when you're looking at power surfing, you really got to split hairs and see who looks different. And this carve right here, look at the extra amount of time he's carving through that wall. Just that extension, he's holding that rail line for just 1 second longer. Judges are going to like that.
Just under 17 minutes to go. Scores coming through for Jordy's last ride, a 6.23. Mick coming into this contest in 13th position on the ratings. We know he's not doing the full schedule this year, taking some time out to regroup.
He feels like he's in it with that surfing he's doing right here. Mick Fanning on his first wave of the exchange. Here he is up into the ball. Beautiful hit off the top, waiting for it again. Bang, a nice, beautiful sweep back into the corner. Let's see what he's got on the inside. Boom, straight up into the lip. Wow, great surfing right there for Mick, and out the back. Beautiful turns out the back, boys. Take it away.
Connor Coffin up now on a bigger wave. It was the second wave in the set. But Mick obviously feeling antsy. Hadn't had a wave yet. He was really banking on the first one, doing more, I think. But Connor, he had a bit more wall to work with as he brings it right through to the inside. Not a super critical finish, but a lot of wall to play with on the outside.
Less water on the reef, and it stands up really nice. Look at that thing. That is A+ Bell's Bowl right there. And, you know, that section was bending away from him, so that's a very smart choice for him to lay back into that carve. That is so technically sound. Had he kind of leaned on that front foot and did a traditional snap, that board wouldn't have had that feedback that he wanted. So he leaned on that back foot and went for the layback snap. Very smart choices here from Connor. You can see how that wave is just kind of laying down. It's a little bit flat. So that is all by design. That layback snap, you can lean on that back foot and maintain your speed out of that carve. There's the extension again, Ronnie. Just a lot of style.
I'm just picking up those little things, just the hand flat on the wall of the wave through the bottom turn.
You know, we expect it, but to actually implement it in this kind of an atmosphere is it's genius. He's doing a really good job. He just kind of chatted about how beautiful the wave was. He's like, gosh, that wave was so good. And it is. I mean, and so he's embracing the moment. He's right now feeling it and enjoying it. It's good to see. It's so fun to watch.
Thank you, Pete. Just loving the slow-mo of Connor and Jordy Smith throughout this heat.
This is a tutorial of powerful, stylish surfing. Just really enjoyable to watch from Connor.
Well, 10.5 minutes to go. Mick Fanning with this wave will just be looking to narrow the requirement. He needs a perfect wave to move into the lead. Has a lot of speed.
Ow.
And that one just didn't pan out for Mick. Just over 10 minutes to go. And during the break, we had some live action with Mick Fanning taking an insider. Really just chipping away at Coffin's lead on this ride. And this wave is not the greatest, but Mick doing some pretty decent surfing. But I don't know if that one is going to help his cause, Ross. He really needs to get himself a score up in the 7s to give himself a great opportunity coming into the final 8 minutes here. And really the issue is there is no jet ski assist. It's a long paddle back out, and then you're going to be relying on the ocean to deliver more than 2 waves in a big set as Jordy. He is just putting on a show now, looking to break combination. Oh, big hack. Really digging in. Pulls into the barrel, finds a way out. Looking to basically drop something close to a 7 just to break combination.
Try to fight for a world title. He's going to have to pick up the kind of urgency. He is not guilty of cruising on this wave. He broke his rail in half. Watch this hack right here. That is a ton of pressure on that deck of that board. I'm surprised that thing didn't break in half. And actually a pretty decent little barrel, even though it was a small wave. That was amazing surfing.
Well, here goes Connor, the heat leader at this stage, just building speed down the line, looking to improve on a 7.73 with this ride. Throws everything into that turn, doesn't quite ride out of it. Fanning left out the back. Just under 4 minutes to go. Let's see if there's a huge turnaround in the standings as Mick gets barreled on the outside. Nice slice off the top as he comes out of the tube. Now attacks the lip. Really fast through those 2 turns. But how much credit will the judges give the tube ride on the outside as he moves through the shore and just kicks that tail? Just over 3 minutes to go.
8 or higher, which would put him back in the heat. But without jet ski assist right now, I know he's going to burn almost all the time just to get himself back to the top of the lineup. Decent barrel, but again, barrels don't score super high at Bells. It's just not what it's known for around here. It's all about that carve that he just put on. And another huge snap right in the hook. That was a really nice, tight, heavy section, and Mick just did what he does. Really fast, sharp hack right in the pocket and a clean finish. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes excellent, but that clock is going to be against him.
Well, just 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And Mick way on the inside.
Got a little spark, and the reason being that wave right there, it kind of inspired him. He knows the clock's now against him. He's going to paddle as hard as he can, get back out there, and maybe give himself another chance. You know, it's right here. You can see it up in action again. It's Jordy Smith.
Well, Jordy digs into that first turn, but transitions into this pit. He is still moving through the barrel, finds the exit. Throws his hands up to the judges. Needs a 9.43 to jump into the lead. 1 minute remaining. Well, Fanning is wide. And still hoping for an opportunity in this final minute as Jordy keeps this ride alive and brings it right through to the inside. Gets up on the foam there for a moment. Great performance from the South African, one of his sharper heats this year.
I mean, the judges were just, they can't help it. You know, they got to go high if you do 3 major maneuvers out in the bowl.
Well, there is just 25 seconds to go. And Mick, he gives Connor a look at this wave, and there is something behind it. But we'll watch the young Californian dig in here, driving off the bottom. Second turn is strong, really aggressive. And again goes the rail. Not quite as clean on that third effort, but still unloading the power, getting caught up in the foam here. This heat is coming to a close, and there wasn't a wave out the back for Mick to have a shot at the lead. The hooter sounds, waiting on the scores to come through for Jordy Smith. Did Jordy do enough on this wave, Ross?
All about that first turn. Nice clean swoop, and then he was forced to pull in. Now, I think he was genuinely happy because that was a pretty deep, throaty little barrel. But again, you know, the name of the game at Bell's is big, heavy maneuvers on the face. So you know, there's no way the score is going to go into the 9s. But let's see what we can see looking into the barrel. Man, he was really deep, wasn't he? And that would have felt good.
Well, the score has come through, a 7.87 Mick Fanning. Jordy Smith once again putting solid heat score totals together. But the CT rookie has taken that quarterfinal spot with a heat score total of 16.86. Some impressive surfing from him. Still one more round 4 heat to come. Michelle Perez, Kai Belli and Davey Cathell's out there next.